Hi guys, Steve Blanker here again with another antique firearms video. I'm out at the range today with a #2 Remington rolling block, and for those of you who follow my channel, you probably know by now I'm pretty fond of these #2 rifles. I've got quite a few of them in different calibers. Well, this is a very unusual one, and I wanted to share it. This is chambered in 25-25 Stevens, which is very unusual. I've been researching #2 rolling blocks for about 3 years now. I've gathered data on probably 150 or more of these rifles, and I've never seen or even heard of another one in 25-25 Stevens. This is one I picked up last year at a gun show. Unfortunately, the chamber had been damaged by somebody sticking a reamer of some other sort into it, trying to change it, and the bore was kind of worn and everything. So I sent it off to a specialist, and I had the bore relined and rechambered. Now, I never wanted to take the easy road when it's there, I guess. But I had this chambered back to as original to 25-25 Stevens. Now, as you can imagine, there's not many people that have a reamer for that, but I had it done, so it's got a brand new bore. It's really a neat rifle. Today's my first time out at the range trying it out. It's a lot of fun. I like the challenge of these odd and unusual chamberings. Now, some of you may have seen a video I did about 5 months ago on another rifle that is in 25-25 Stevens also, and that's this one. This is a Stevens Model 44. I picked this rifle up at a gun show also, and it's got a pretty good bore. I did a video a while back on it, and the results were not anything great. It was my first or second time out with it, and the group wasn't anything to rave about. Since then, I've shot it a fair bit more, and I've got a pretty good load. It shoots pretty well in it. So today, I'm out here with the Remington for its first time out, and I'm going to use the same loads that I've made for the Stevens, although the Stevens has a groove size of 253, which is really small for a 25 caliber. The standard today is typically 257-inch diameter, and that's what this one is. So I made the same loads for this rifle, but with a larger bullet the size to this bore. So I'm going to take a few shots with it here. I'm at the 25-yard line here. I usually like to use another range that has a 50-yard line. Unfortunately, somebody else is on that one, so the range is short, but it's good for the first time out to try this out. So let's take a few shots with it here. Now, the rounds I have loaded here are with Blackhorn 209. Now, I'll show you this cartridge. It's a very long, skinny cartridge. Now, the problem, this was originally a black powder cartridge, 25 grains of black powder. But with a smokeless load, it's difficult to find a bulky powder that will fill the case sufficiently to give me a fairly full case while still keeping velocity low. I want to keep velocities under around 1,500 feet per second. It's very easy, I've found, with this cartridge to just a small increase in smokeless powder to get a large jump in velocity. So very careful. This is Blackhorn 209, which is a black powder substitute, which I really like in smokeless cartridges. It fills the case better than anything else I found so far, and it generally shoots really well. The other rounds I have are loaded with H4198, and that's a pretty bulky powder, and that seems to work pretty well too. But I'm going to take 5 shots with these Blackhorn 209 cartridges. The bullet's about 86 grains. So put my ears on, let's go at it. Now, those of you who've used Blackhorn 209 may find that it actually shoots really good. It's very consistent. It is an expensive powder compared to most, so I don't use it in big bore cartridges. It's just the volume of it, the amount of use it's expensive. But for these smaller bore cartridges, I really like it. Now, Stevens developed this cartridge in the mid-1890s or so, and it was popular for a while, but they found that it would they tend to have problems with fouling with it, with black powder, a small bore, and fouling. It fouled up pretty quickly. And there were also some reports of extraction problems with it. So not too long later, a few years later, they came up with a 2521, which is essentially the same case, but it's a little shorter, has a little less powder, and that seemed to resolve the problems they were having. So the 2521 ended up superseding the 2525. Now, as you can imagine, this brass is pretty hard to come by. I've got a combination of original UMC brass that I use, and then I also have new made brass from Rocky Mountain Cartridge, which is really nice also. I'll take one more with it. Well, it shoots and extracts just fine. Now this load is around 1,500 feet per second from what I've measured with my Stevens rifle with a chronograph. I haven't chronographed in this rifle, but it should be. It's the same load. I'm using just a slightly larger bullet. So let's take a walk down to the target and see if it did anything. I'm going to pause it for a second. We'll pick it up right back down there. Okay, I'm back down at the target, and here we go. Nothing to rave about this first time out. Did pretty good. The first 4 shots, got one a little off to the side here, but it shoots nice. Not pretty nice tight. I'm sure I can improve on this with a little bit of time and a better, more steady rest. But it shoots pretty good. So that's the 25-25 Stevens shot in a Remington rolling block number 2. So I'm going to be working with this rifle a bit more. I really like these number 2 rifles, and so this is going to be another fun one to play with. And I'll be able to reach out in the 50 and maybe out to the 100-yard line once I get load worked up a little bit. So, hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure have fun doing it. My YouTube channel has over 60 antique firearms related videos. So if you haven't looked at some of my other videos, check them out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll have more coming out again soon. Take care.